Oh, well, let's see if we got any sound coming out the other end here. Just got to wait for a minute or two, see if there's any sound. Okay, we do have sound. So let's get this party started. Ladies, gentlemen, pronoun, lend me your ear. Crazy Kid back for another live stream. And let me tell you, the weather's been up and down and all around. And just within the last few days, we've had weather that was like 60 degrees. Hello, Susanna. How are you? Thumbs up. Thank you very much. We've had weathers that's been like 60 degrees or like 16 degrees Celsius, all the way down to like -7 or 23 degrees. And it's like, come on, give me a break. Bring on that warmer weather. First day of spring was, 2 or 3 days ago. So, bring that warmer weather on here. I can't wait for it, like bring that stuff to me. I am sick of the cold weather. Having to wear a heavy sweater all the time, long pants. I want to get back into shorts and t-shirts, and that's it. So one of the things I was looking at today was the international date line. It's actually kind of on a circle. It goes all the way over like 20 longitudes just to reach around a country, rather than just making that whole country the other date. I was like, wow, that was kind of interesting. But like it was just like, like people in I think it was the 150th longitude. There's a part of the international date line that's right there, and then the rest of it's at 170. And it's like, So those people 20 latitude or 20 longitudes over are already on the previous or on the next day, and these people at the 150th have to wait another couple hours. Great. Another thing that's been bugging me lately is the whole time, like switching the time back and forth, spring ahead, fall backwards. It's an antiquated system that needs to be eliminated. Like, quit messing with the clocks, please. Like, it just makes things harder for, especially, with the YouTube channel. You say, okay, my live stream is at this time. And then all of a sudden, a week later, it's at the next time. It's like, so, it's a system that was devised to aid the slowness of crops being brought to the mill, being brought to market for farmers. Well, now that they're being able to bring those crops to the mill and markets so much faster, we don't need to move the clocks anymore. It's an antiquated system that needs to be eliminated. So here's hoping that, we get a government working with the United States government to say, okay, stop that crap. Put the brakes on that crap. Because I don't even know how many other, I don't even know how many other countries in the world have that antiquated system. How you doing, Andy? Yeah, everybody. Yeah, happy freaking Monday, man. It's the beginning of the week, and you're just looking forward to the end of the week, But yeah, there's a few things that, boggle the mind when it comes to the planet. Boggles my mind when it comes to the planet anyways. Like that international date line, the way it loops off. I saw that and I was like, really? You couldn't have went the other way? It would have only affected 5 degrees? You had to go, the totally opposite way just to include everybody else into the next day. It was just, yeah, once you're retired or, not working anymore, the days just kind of run into each other. And it's like hard to keep up. Like, well, when I took a nap, did I go into the next day or am I still on the previous day? We'll find out when I watch the news, which I don't do. Yeah, I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news in over 25 years, mostly because it's all bad news. It's all who's killing who, who's doing wrong in the world. When are we going to see something that's going to actually uplift and inspire people? Like there used to be shows on the news. It was a craft corner by the heck was her name? She ended up getting a TV show of her own. And my mom used to watch her all the time. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna bug me. But yeah, there used to be a craft section on this one news channel that a lot of people wanted to watch. And then when they gave her own show and basically kicked her off the show to do her own show, well, people stopped watching the news. Well, a lot of people stopped watching the news because she wasn't on there anymore. Her name was Carol something. It'll come to me. But yeah, as soon as they took out the good stuff, the viewership dropped, and they were like, "Oh, this is the way we got to go." No, it isn't. What you need to do is you need to get some good news on there to inspire people to want to watch the news. That's why it was Detroit. I think her first name was Carol. I can't remember what her last name was. If I asked my mom, it'd be instant. But it was crafting with Carol. It was Carol's Corner. That was the session in the news, like the news feed. It was like Carol's Crafting Corner. I can't remember her last name, but she had a very successful change. Like she had a very successful TV show. Oh, okay. On her own, and it was a lot of people tuned in. I want to say Carol Duvall, but I don't think it was Carol Duvall. Let me check this up. Carol's Crafty Corner. Is that it? As soon as I see her photo, I'll be able to go, yep, that was her, but I'd have to ask my mom what the name of that lady was. She had a great TV show. It was fun. It was educational. It was entertaining, and it was worth watch. But yeah, it was an interesting. Yeah, Carol Duvall. Yeah, she. Yeah, it was Carol Duvall. But yeah, it was a great session in the news, and it was worth watching. It was worth sitting there watching through the dirt and grime that was going on to actually finally catch Carol Duvall and her how she would put popsicle sticks and napkins together and make something really neat looking out of it. And the glue gun was her favorite tool. But when it came around springtime, oh, she had tons and tons of crafts that for garden stakes and for planting. She'd make all kinds of neat little crafts and stuff like that. It was always a fun session to watch. But we don't have any good pieces of news on the news anymore. It's all about all the death and destruction and who's doing wrong in the world, and like how the political views are being so skewed by the media. It isn't funny. And you have some content creators on every platform skewing their audiences with their political views, just the same as the mainstream media is doing on television. So you really can't get away from a whole lot of it. The only thing you can do is just not watch it. That's what I do. I couldn't care less. But it's one of those things where here we are in the springtime. No warm weather up here. Please bring me the warmer weather. I like it when it's like 85, 90, 100 degrees. Those are my temperatures. Those are the ones that I function the best in. And, this whole negative 90 and, well, not negative 90, but negative 10 and negative 15 degrees with a wind chill of minus your nuts. Sorry, that doesn't work with me. It's how people get sick. Like I got sick this, last February for the whole month. Like it bit me in the ass at the beginning of the month, and I was suffering through, and I finally felt like I was getting rid of it, and turned around and bit me in the other cheek. So, hello there, Kiki and Jasmine. Oh yeah, Boracay. The only thing about it is if I was to take a trip to the Philippines, I would save Boracay for a trip with a significant other that I really, really, am deep into, like deep in emotional ties with. I would save that trip as a, kind of a special trip between myself and my partner. So that's, that it just looks like, from what I've seen, just the, short clips that I've seen, that's what that trip kind of, sparks a promotion of, that's what it's all about there. Southwestern Ontario. I'm down in the snout. I'm down in the elephant snout. Hello, Nicole. How are you doing? You getting as sick and tired of this cold weather as I am? Like this whole 60 degrees one day, 20 the next. Sorry, that don't work with me. That's when my back starts tightening right up and I just can't move. Right. And like, Kieran says, Boracay would be perfect for me. Yeah, it would. 80 degrees all year round. All I got to do is worry about a few little raindrops. Ooh. Like whoopie doo. Snow there last night. Yeah, you're up in northern Ontario. But yeah, the people in the Philippines, they hear rain. It's like, oh my God, it's going to be like monsoon and typhoon and all the oons. And I'll be looking at it going, well, at least the wind's only blowing in one direction. Because here we get tornadoes and they blow in all directions. Like a few days ago, it actually felt like we were going to get a tornado. Because like the weather went from like 20 degrees Fahrenheit to like 65 degrees Fahrenheit and then back down again. And then when you get that rush of temperature gain and loss, yeah, the wind is specifically meant to do this. Eastern of the tip of Lake Ontario. Okay. That's still quite a bit further north than where I'm at. That's like about a 7-hour drive. Well, 7 hours if you want to keep your license. 4 if you want to chance it. But yeah, it's respecting the rules of the road is a 7-hour drive. Because, like, at the ages we're at, you've got to stop once in a while and go for the bathroom break. Oh, 12 pages of blood tests. Well, yeah, you're tired because you were freaking dehydrated, all that blood loss. 4 hours to Toronto from there, yeah. Yeah, it's there's a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people recently who can't comprehend how huge Canada is, let alone how big Ontario is. Like they said that, like I was talking to one guy last year before he passed away. He was trying to tell me that Texas was bigger than Ontario, and I was like, no. You can fit 1.5 land masses of Texas inside Ontario quite comfortably. You just can't fit the population, Hey, Paul, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. I got thinking about that song, Welcome Back, Kotter, a while back, and I was like, I think it'd be fun to do a reaction video on that because it was such a great TV show. 21 hours for you to drive out of Ontario, yeah. And it's at least a day and a half where I'm at. Like it takes from where I'm at to get to Northern Ontario by Montreal, it takes 12 hours to drive there. It's a good 12-hour trip. Already 28 Celsius in Manila, 33 this afternoon with a 90% humidity. Cool. Sign me up. Hey, Adams World Corp. Oh, yeah, right on. Right on. Thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you coming back. I really appreciate everybody coming back. Otherwise, I'd be lonely. Not doing so well. Broke a bone in your left foot. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ouch. Ouch. Sorry to hear that, Paul. Yeah, I've only ever broken one bone in my body, and it just happened to be a rib. Like the doctors can't do anything with ribs other than wish you luck. Oh, you don't like the humidity? Oh, humidity doesn't bother me. The one thing about humidity is when you stop sweating or when you stop peeing, it's over. If you can't urinate anymore, you better get yourself in the shade, in cooler temperatures, and start drinking gallons and gallons and gallons of water and like with a little bit of salt in it, with a little bit of freaking flavoring in it, something to replenish those electrolytes and basically rehydrate your system. But when you can't urinate anymore, that's when you know you're in trouble. You're supposed to sing last Friday with your uncle's band, but you're still tired. Oh yeah, like I used to give blood constantly. Like whenever they say, okay, it's time. You're allowed to give blood again. I go in and take it out. And for me, I wouldn't feel groggy or drained out until like a couple days later for some stupid reason. It would just, I'd be full of energy right out of the gate. And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, but I just can't get my butt moving. Yeah, with it being broken for 2.5 weeks, and you're still walking on it. Yeah, it's going to take more than just a chiropractor to go in there and try and snap it back into place. You may have to. It may be an extensive process. Basically just they may have to pin it or something, or put a ring around it and so it'll heal properly. Yeah, but yeah, the whole humidity thing. A lot of people don't catch themselves when they're having fun in the sun and playing at the beach and stuff like that. They think just because they're in the water, they're okay from dehydration. It's not the case. Dehydration is within. Your body isn't a plant. It doesn't. You can't get that photosynthesis like a plant does. Your body does absorb some. Your skin will absorb some, but it won't absorb the amount that you're losing through sweating and stuff like that. You got to start pulling that in internally. Yeah, you're gonna have to wear a boot for a while. It may even be longer than 8 weeks. All depends on how well they set that bone. If they miss by too much, because like those bones in the feet are small. If they miss by too much, then you may end up having to wear the boot for like 3 months, like 12 weeks, just to get that bone to go into place. It's all in how close they can get it. And how much healing has already been done on it. Yeah, it's hard to drive your motorcycle with a big old boot on like that. Oh, Irish skin. Yeah, that's some fair skin right there. That's like going outside as a solar panel, Whereas me, I don't know about yourself, Kieran. When in the summertime, when I used to install pools, my boss used to be completely astonished that the minute I got to the job site, I'd peel my shirt off and I'd start working away. And the first day, it'd be like 70, 75 degrees, and I'd peel my shirt off just to get that first burn, because the lighter the burn that I get the first time, the less painful it's going to be when it starts peeling off. But my body used to only burn once a year. That's it. So I get it out of the way right out of the gate. And then after that, I just go mahogany. Like I would just darken and darken and darken. And there was I have some friends that are, of the African American descent background, and I was darker than they were. And they're like, dude, you're a white guy. Well, like, I know, not anymore. Yeah, I feel for you too, Paul. Even though I've never had to wear one of them things, um, anything that huge has got to be encumbersome. It's got to be bothersome. But the one benefit about that boot is if you have an itch or anything like that, like you can actually take that off. Like it's on with clips. You can actually take that off, wash yourself, and put that, like, dry yourself off, put that thing back on. It's really there. Like that boot is really there just to restrict mobility or motion, and keep you from kicking it back out of place. But as long as you're careful, you can remove that boot, wash yourself, put that boot back on. That's why they do that kind of casting system nowadays. Number one, it's faster. All they got to do is just go, okay, this is the size, fit it up, boom, snap it on, and away you go. No, I'd love to wear it for you, Paul, but it's not going to help your foot. And I'd rather you take care of your foot and everything like that, and do it the right way. But at least with those boots and the new arm things that they're making, at least you can pull that off, wash, and then put that back on. Because before, what they would do, and now this sounds disgusting, back when they first started doing casts, they would put the cast on, and then after about 2 weeks, they would put maggots down inside the cast to eat the dead skin. Like, like that is just nasty. So at least medical science and technology is advancing to the creature comforts of humanity. And that's one of the things about, the modern age is I wish people would spend more time making advancements in medical technologies, life-saving devices, emergency responses, rather than bitching about cow farts and stuff that really doesn't matter, stuff that you can't really do anything about, like climate change. Climate's going to change no matter what. The way our solar system works is our planet does this tilt thing, and it takes 2,150 years for it to go from one to the other and back to home again. It takes 2,150 years to do that. We're in that cycle. That's what this whole climate change is all about. And here you got all these activists wanting the governments to spend billions and trillions and quadrillions of dollars on stopping this from happening. That's Mother Nature. You can't fight Mother Nature. Fighting Mother Nature is a losing battle. All you can do is just hope that you can hide successfully enough to survive another day. All these people are saying, oh, cow farts are ruining the atmosphere. Hey, I can only eat so much beef before I'm full. I'm trying to eliminate the problem for these people. Honestly, I am. But I can only eat so much by myself, and I'm trying to help them out. But, I can only eat so much before I'm full. At least it was left foot. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the go pedal. Yeah, the right foot's the go pedal. Yeah, breaking that one there was probably a real nuisance. Because then you got to get everybody else to drive for you. It's like, and then you're like, where's the ocean strap? I need something for security here. Yeah, there's no ocean strap on this amusement ride. Shit. But yeah, like, I don't understand where all these activists are getting their ideas from. Like, they just all of a sudden, like, yeah, and pretty soon you're going to be a race car driver. Like, I watched a thing in England. Was it England? These activists threw cans of spaghetti on oil paintings that were done hundreds of years before their birth, ruining the paintings, and then basically saying, oh, oil is so bad for the environment. It's a whole lot better than, some other things. Nothing we can do about it. We're trying to use it all up. So, it's just, like, deal with it. If it's so bad, then come up with something to replace it. Something viable and cleaner to replace it. Instead of ruining everything. And that's what they do. They just ruin everything. To cause their point from being, or to make their point heard. They think that they got to be terrorists. No, Don't be terrorists. Come up with an alternative solution peacefully and intelligently, and then come out and say, this is better than this. Please use this. You might actually end up getting, business people investing in your idea, and you might actually make a few bucks while you're helping your cause. So, these people that are these, uber activists that destroy things just to prove a point, I think they're the biggest knuckleheads on the planet. So, you don't destroy stuff like, especially when it comes to history, like stuff that reminds us of our history, the battles that we fought, the triumphs over a wrong society, the monuments that we built to basically be a staple and a showpiece that we were wrong in doing certain things. And this is a reminder of, that wrong, not to do it again. And you have all these activists wanting to tear all that stuff down. So this way here, all of a sudden you get these people doing those wrong things again, not being reminded why it was wrong. Some of these activists just don't think before they do. And that's, I think, what our biggest problem as humans is too many people just don't think things through before they actually do it. Big oil is in the research phase of carbon capture. Viable, yeah. And the thing about it is, they're expecting all these big oil companies to come up with all the processes and new ideas to eliminate themselves. That doesn't sound like a very good business plan to me. If you want to do something about something, do something about something. I know it sounds like double talk, but if you want to make some changes in the world, you have to make some changes in the world. And in order to make those changes in the world, the more peaceful you make your changes, the easier it is for other people to say, that might be a good idea. I just wish more people would actually understand that point. But yeah, it's just the world is being spun out of control by people with so many wild ideas about, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. That's the way it's got to be. No, you haven't thought things through properly. You're only thinking about how it affects you, not how it affects the entire globe. Like, one of the biggest arguments about the difference between fossil fuels and these battery cells is the fact that when the battery cells die, lunatic lefties, when the battery cells die and they have to be disposed, they are actually 10 times more harmful to the environment than the emissions on the fossil fuels. And these people that are pushing the electronic batteries and stuff like that, they don't care about down the road because they're not going to be there. 100 years down the road, they're not going to be around. They're only caring about themselves and what's going on in their own little bubble. You have to look at, the long picture. Where are these batteries going to be disposed of, and how are they going to be, decharged so that they don't damage the environment even more? These activists, they don't care. They don't care about the long term. They don't care about what's going on in 100 years because they're not going to be here. They push that problem off to another group of people who are going to blow their minds about, how to fix this problem that these people caused. Meanwhile, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but fossil fuels do damage the environment, and these batteries that they're creating if they leak or if they get damaged and have to be replaced and recycled or whatever, or put someplace to basically store them until they completely disintegrate, the damage that they do to the environment is 10 times the amount. And the activists don't care. They're only looking at the now. And I think that's the biggest problem with activists is they only look at today. They don't look at down the road. So I don't know. I got to get a coffee. Yeah, the lunatic lefties are, I don't mind if a person is left leaning. Doesn't bother me. Like, I'm more of a centralized person. I tend to look at both sides of the coin, and I think that a lot of people need to do that. I think that's if you look at both sides of the coin, you can see the whole argument. You could see, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's going on in their eyes. This is what's going on in their eyes. Now, how do we come up with a compromise, a meet in the middle, to solve the majority of both problems? That's where I sit. How do we work together to solve the problem together? And when you have one side saying this, saying, okay, we're making money on this. This is our livelihood. You're looking at taking it away, but you're not giving me anything to replace it with. Give me something to replace it with, and I'll be more inclined to help you out on this. Yeah, a centrist. Yeah, I completely forgot about what the term was. Yeah, I'm in Southern Ontario, and in and around this area, we are basically centrist. Like, politically thinking, we're centrist. We go by the parties that are going to affect us the most positively, and that's how a lot of us in this area vote. Like, basically from London down, who's pitching the campaign in our favor to gain our trust and votes. That's where we, in this area, a lot of us are like that. That's why a lot of the swing vote comes down here. When it comes to the country leader, like, if there's a swing vote, like if it's somewhere's in the middle, Southern Ontario from like literally London down, we're basically all centrist. We look at what's affecting us and what the party leaders are pitching to us, and we go with that. And then so many people just say, I don't want to provoke the idiocy of politics, so they don't vote. Like my brother, like, he's like, whatever. I'm like, I like to be able to say my piece. Because if you don't vote, you don't get to say nothing about politics. And I don't want to be a political channel. But that's where I line. I line down the middle. If one side says they're going to do something that's going to positively affect me, the other side says they're going to do something that's going to negatively affect me, well, I'm going to lean towards one way or the other. Like, I'm on the fence. I'm on the teeter-totter in the middle. Who's going to benefit me the most? I love coffee. Coffee is my favorite drink. And the thing about it is, Kieran, in the Philippines, those people think I'm freaking out of my mind because I've been drinking coffee all day long. And they'd be all like, oh, how can you drink that hot liquid all day like that? It's what I'm accustomed to. You keep the internal structure of your body more matched to the external temperature of the environment, you won't feel it as much. And I've gone with that since I was like 15, 16, when I was working in the restaurants. Let me tell you, working over a 350 degree fryer and a 400-degree grill for 8 hours a day, you drinking coffee and you're not sweating? Yeah, take it easy, Paul, and take care of that foot, man. Yeah, when I was working in the restaurants, I drank coffee all day long, and I barely had sweat marks on my clothes. Like, it would have to be like stupid hot outside, to the point where the air conditioning in the restaurant wasn't working as well in the kitchen area, and I'd still be sitting there sucking back on the coffee, and I'd have no problems. I'd keep right on rocking. Everybody's like, how can you do that? Watch. Yeah, I drink my coffee black. I used to drink it straight out of the pot. I had to quit doing that because it took too long to make the next pot. So, but it's been about 45 or 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I'm thinking about knocking this one down and getting on with my day. I've had a couple videos recently that just boggled me why they got blocked worldwide. Sometimes it just it makes me wonder, do these music agents and music companies actually understand what they're stopping? The promotion and the promotion and distribution of their product is doing. Pat Quayle. I have no idea. I've never heard of that company. But yeah, like these record companies and these copyright holders, if they actually watch some of the videos of the people that are making reaction videos or using their content, if they actually watch some of the stuff, still don't know that company or that person, then if they watch the content, then they might actually see that some people are actually promoting their content and promoting the consumption of their core content. So it doesn't make any sense to me sometimes. I just got to deal with it. But we got a Fourth Impact birthday wish coming up on at the beginning of the month, and I'm really excited about getting that one out. I've already got it laid out. I've already got it listed, scheduled. It's already made. Oh, okay. It's already it's already in the line. So next week, that's Mylene's birthday from Fourth Impact, and we'll give her that birthday wish. I hope she watches, and I hope she appreciates it. I know on their recent live streams they were talking about they don't watch the reactions to their videos. Those are the people you want to watch and pay attention to, because we're the people that are saying, hey, keep it up, give us more. This is what we love about your rendition of this song. This is what we love about your video. Those are the people that you want to watch. So they spend so much time reading their comments and seeing some people being just complete morons. Like, the way I look at it, if you're gonna watch somebody's video and then take the time to create a nasty comment in their video, who's the one who wasted their time? It wasn't the person creating the content, because their content has all kinds of positive and uplifting and thankful comments. And then they have that one who's just being a moron. He has a mansion in Forest Park in Manila, estimated worth. Wow! That thing must be huge. Because that would be like, what? 5 billion pesos? Like, wow. Like, I think it would be kind of funny if Reyes, I can't remember what his first name was, he's a Philippine pool player, if he invested in a toothpick company and made them all look like pool sticks. I think that'd be hilarious. I'd buy them. Yeah, hey, you got one house that's worth $100 million, $100 million US dollars. That kind of brings up the value of the neighborhood. But that famous pool player from the Philippines, I think his name is Alvin Reyes. But I know his last name is Reyes. It's like just this outstanding mathematician who can see all 360-degree angles in a split second, playing pool and just making shots that are just out of this world. Now, I think if he invested in a toothpick company and made all the toothpicks look like pool sticks, I think that would be an amazing, amazing, amazing business opportunity for somebody. And if they end up doing that, I want a piece of that because it was my idea. I think that would be a funny thing. I'd buy them. Oh, I think that would be a really great idea. Toothpicks in the shape of pool sticks, endorsed by the best pool player in the planet. Have him chomping on one while he's doing his thing. I think that would be funny. I think that'd be a great commercial. I think I'm going to get going here, folks. I got some other things that I got to get taken care of. Thought that wooden straw was a good idea. Yeah. But the thing about it is, with a wooden straw, it's still a porous material. Now, with it being a porous material, it's going to start leaking air, and you're going to lose the ability to draw your liquid out of the bottom of the glass. And if it's a milkshake, you could end up deflavoring the milkshake. I personally just prefer using good old plastic straw. Yeah, but I think I'm going to get going here, folks. I got to get some other things done today, and I just wanted to come in, catch up, say hi. Wish you all a good spring, and hopefully the weather smartens up. Hopefully we start getting some warmer weather around here, because like these cold days and then for up and down, that ruins my back. So until we get to the next one, folks, I wish you all peace, love, and happiness.